Good morning. How are you doing? Day 24. Morning, morning. Hi everyone. I got stuck in the same trap this morning. I was just going over what we're about to do and then I looked up and I was like, oh, it's 8:15, go. I got really caught out this morning by how light it is now. I feel like you can really tell it's getting lighter, and that's definitely a good thing. Makes me very excited. Spring's coming. Morning, Sal. We're gonna do probably less of a flowy sequence today, but hopefully quite a nice stretchy, a nice stretchy 10 minutes or so. Or is it still windy there, Matt? Yeah, it's calmed down here. We're not as stormy as we were, which is good. Yeah, so we're going to do a bit more of a kind of stretch this morning. But yeah, hopefully it'll be good for you guys. Let me know what you think and how you find it. We're going to begin seated today. So just finding a comfortable seat. And just beginning to center yourself. Just grounding yourself. Bringing that awareness inwards. Acknowledging what you need to around you. And then just bringing your awareness in towards your breath. Just noticing, observing how you feel. Accepting that might be different to yesterday, and it's probably going to be very different to tomorrow. And just meeting yourself in this moment here this morning. Beginning to deepen the inhales and exhales. Introducing that nose breathing if it feels comfortable to do so. And then when you're ready, if your eyes are closed, just begin to blink them open. And we're just going to find some gentle movement to begin with. So as you inhale, let's take the arms up overhead. Exhale, bringing them down by your sides. Inhale, send the arms up. Exhale, sending them down by your sides. Let's take a side stretch, so right hand down on the mat, left hand up and over. Inhale. Let's take it to the other side. As you exhale, left hand comes down, right hand comes up. Taking it to the other side. Try not to let yourself collapse over. Stay nice and open through the chest as you stretch over to each side. Left hand down, right hand comes up. Really reach to the tips of the fingers, and then let's just come back into center. Let's find all fours, tabletop position. Going to find some nice traditional cat-cow this morning, but if you like that more exaggerated one where we move through child's pose, or if you'd like to take any movement basically from this position that feels good for you, absolutely go for it. Give yourself that permission for your practice to look different. but for it to serve you in the way that it needs to. I've got a very stiff neck this morning, so my practice would probably look quite different to yours if I wasn't demoing. Inhale as you drop the belly and look towards the ceiling. Exhaling, pressing through the mat, maybe bringing chin to chest. And then just coming back into neutral here. We're just going to try something a little different. Absolutely try and pop the ego to one side as we go for this. It's one of those that's very love-hate. You kind of want to work into it, but see how you feel. We're going to walk the hands back, tuck the toes. And as you walk back, we're slowly going to come into a squat at the end of the mat. So traditionally you might see that with the feet flat on the floor, with hands in prayer, and us kind of using the elbows. If I come here, you can see it better. Using the elbows to kind of push the knees out. But that's only one way to do it. You might have your heels up off the ground here. You might prefer some gentle movement left to right as you ease the hips into it. You might prefer, as we've just come into it from tabletop, you might prefer to be forwards on the hands and find some gentle movement that way. Feel into it. There is no right way for this to look. There's only a right way for it to feel, and that is whichever way feels best for you. You still want to feel that stretch. You still want to feel quite an intense stretch here, but you don't want to feel any pain, and you certainly don't want to feel any pressure to make it look a certain way. When you've had enough, we're just going to come back the way that we came, meeting in tabletop position. Just wiggle it out if you need to, shake through the body. And then we're just going to tuck the toes, and we're going to come to downward facing dog, press the hips up, press the heels down, pushing into the hands. Remember to spider through the fingers for extra balance, extra strength here. And then we're slowly going to bend those knees, and we're going to walk towards the top of the mat. We're going to meet in ragdoll pose, so the feet hips width apart. We're just going to let everything hang super heavy. Option to find gentle sway here or stillness. Clasping the elbows if you'd like to. And then tucking the chin, we're really slowly going to rise all the way up to standing. Lifting the chin last. As we meet in mountain pose, Tadasana. Take any movement you might want here, maybe some shoulder shrugs, maybe some circles through the neck, which is very painful for me this morning. And then I thought we'll just take a series this morning of forward folds, which might sound a little boring, but hopefully won't be. If you're like me at the top of your mat, all I want you to do is just to step out wide. So you're kind of long ways along the mat, or maybe the rug, or if you're stood on a towel or something. You can, they call it kind of tick-tocking the feet, so you can have your toes pointing out at that like 10-2 angle. And then all we're going to do is bring the hands onto the hips. And this is quite a powerful pose anyway here. So you hear a lot about like powerful people before they do presentations standing in this like power pose to psych themselves out. So I don't know, really feel it. Maybe you're in that place today. And then all I want you to do is inhale and think nice and long through the spine. So again, chin parallel to the ground, but nice and long as you're being pulled up by that string from the crown of your head. Pressing into the feet, all we're going to do is fold from the hips, hinging at the hips, sending your bum out behind you. Think about that nice flat back position we have in halfway lift. And then maybe once we get halfway down, it might feel comfortable to bring the hands down onto the mat, down towards the ground, as you maybe bring yourself down a little lower. Plenty of options here. You can bend through the knees. You can Take the feet a little wider or narrower, whatever feels best for you. And again, as always, just feel into it. Just feel where feels best for you. Honour where is best for your body right now. Thinking nice and long through the spine. Take a nice deep inhale. And then as you exhale, we're going to come all the way to stand in one motion. Nice, everyone. You can see my stance got a bit wider there to get a bit closer to the ground. You're going to take it one more time, but slightly different. And take the arms out behind the back, clasping the hands, you can see there. Just bringing them out behind your back. So you're nice and open through the chest. And then we're just going to do the exact same thing. So as you inhale, think nice and long through the spine. And then as you exhale, hinging at the hips, sending the chest down towards the ground. The arms maybe come up and over. Maybe you bend through those knees. There's absolutely no need for the legs to be straight here unless that feels really good to you and you want that stretch. Bringing the arms over. Breathing into it. This could be a whole new movement for you. Just breathing nice and deeply. Taking a final deep inhale. And same as before, as you exhale, coming all the way up in one go, releasing that grip. And let's step it back to the top of the mat. Let's shake it out. Shake all through the legs, through the hands. Really nice, everyone. And then all we're going to do is just bend through the knees. And we're going to come to sit down on the mat. I thought maybe we'd give boat a little try this morning. So from seated with the legs out in front of you, maybe a slight bend in the knees. That's always kind of the nicer way to begin in this pose, I think. All you're going to do is take the hands out alongside you. Bracing through the core, you're really going to use your core here. You're also really going to use your breath to focus and carry yourself through. With your arms out alongside you, all we're going to do is start to slowly bring the feet off the ground. Really engaging through the core, thinking nice and long through that crown of the head. Bend through the knees. Absolutely no need for the legs to be straight, again, unless you're a very seasoned practitioner here. Keep it breathing. If you need to bring the legs back down for a short break and then bring them back up again, just give yourself what you need. Keep breathing. Embrace the wobbles and the shakes. I can feel I'm about to get a good attack of the shakes here. And then as you're ready, on an exhale, just bring everything back down to the mat. Real nice, everyone. Let's come to lie on our backs as we bring it all the way back down. With a bend in the knees and the soles of the feet down on the mat. Let's just lift the hips and take them over towards the right. Sending the knees towards the left of the mat. Maybe arms come out wide into T-shape, or if you're a bit tighter on space, just bending through the elbows, finding cactus arms. And if it feels good, maybe closing down the eyes, maybe gazing towards the right. Just allowing your breath to begin returning to its more natural rhythm. Slowing back down. When you're ready, bringing the gaze back into the center, lifting the knees, pressing through the soles of the feet as you bring your hips first back into the center, and then pressing through the feet, lifting the hips, sending them towards the left side now, letting the knees drop towards the right. And again, maybe, if it feels comfortable, gazing towards the left. letting the body begin to relax into it. In your own time, just bringing the gaze back up towards the ceiling, head in center, lifting the knees, pressing through the soles of the feet to bring the hips back into that central position. And then we'll send the legs out long, the arms out alongside you, or finding your own final resting pose. That could be seated. Just finding somewhere to spend a couple of moments. Letting everything grow really heavy if you're in Shavasana. Releasing the tension through the body as everything melts down into the ground. Relaxing the face. Acknowledging, showing up for yourself. Day 24. And as always, I will leave you there. If you have time, definitely hang out for a little bit longer. Thank you so much for showing up for yourself today. Showing up for me, always appreciated. And I hope you have lovely days. Tomorrow I have a super long drive in the morning. However, I'm all planned in. I will be here at 8:15. It might just be a little bit different, but day 25, I'll be here. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining and have the best day.